to pinch their way in. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at the setup. Queasy distracting them. Hen coming from the back, hits 31. Would have wanted a bit more, but this is brilliant. Amplified down. Flowdax now left alone. Oh, this is what it's all about right now, Shyo.
This is just ridiculous. I haven't seen a pinch like that. That slow, thought out fundamental since, you know, watching Zayn at Loot Lake just trap teams who just end up landing in, not knowing exactly what they're doing. They make a seasoned veteran like Amplify look absolutely clueless in that circumstance and that aspect, and that is just crazy.
Yeah, they need to come up with something huge here. But it's a lot easier said than done. You can see their players fighting them on the edge of the zone, and their backs against the walls, and they will be crushed.
I think the worst part about it, though, it's like, you know, carrying in the groceries in one trip. You have a little bit too much to hold on to. Well, Cammy gets psyched out, trip, the bags rip, and then, you know, literally all the food's gone. He's got 3 launch pads. You got to make sure you use them at the best time. Squeezy and Hen actually force out one as well. Why not have any of their own, but they have the position, and it's always the best one on the entire zone. They look to pinch the entire lobby, it seems like right now, too. Queasy denied access to the box, but now they have height once again, cranking straight up to the sky. It's too easy today for Queasy and Hen.
Yeah, you saw how ready they were as well. Made sure to pepper before they padded. As soon as they landed, they could quickly 90 their way on up. And everybody else knows this is Queasy and Hen's height. They're going to just cover the zone now and look to try and get as many eliminations as possible. Phoenix and Ryzen will go down, though. And so first place really is going to be up for grabs in this game. And we know there are a couple of these big teams looking to get it. Cammy and Teak, who looked like they were in such a strong position before, now looking a bit more desperate. Teak down to bare bones. Cammy as well needs to try and provide some space and time for his teammate. Teak, though, looking to get right back in. Even with his low HP, he knows, look, let's get a refresh. We're down on Surge. We're 8 below. Let's do some damage. He won't be able to outlive this too long, so the desperation's really kicked in, but there are players on low ground for them to capitalize on, and Cammy will do just that. Takes down Michael. As now time gets to go in, they got to move. Teak doesn't have many options. It's really rough for him. His loadout isn't looking the greatest. But for the meantime, no Riley, Aqua, a team who we know usually will be dominant on high ground, not going to have that option right now. They're chilling close to it, though. They'll keep their eyes on it, look for any opportunity to try and take it for their own. But they've got to be careful because they've not got much resources to work with, and they've got players who are looking at them. The Spider-Man will come through, and O'Reilly will move to the front of zone, and this gives them a bit more time to figure out their plan.
Cammy and Teak, though, they secure it without even the use of any one extra launch pad. They're in the center point of zone, and Os on the right side going to be just brawling out side by side. Not sure if he took out anyone. No, both beams still alive in the sky. No Riley, Aqua, they go toe-to-toe, box-to-box with Julex. He goes down. The third POV from the backside is going to be a trap, a pitfall. Quicksand for them in the box, and they can't breathe. They get taken out. Cammy and Teak, though, somehow still alive, powered through 5 different duos in second place for the entire day. Now, hold that torch at the very front portion of the lobby. They're looking back and beaming still. Does Cammy have even more pads? How many mats do they have to deal with? It doesn't matter because they're bullying everyone down below. Flames extinguished on the grass as Teak gets out swag and gets that full elimination as well. They are making sure no one's allowed to be behind them. Just blazing a trail as they control mid-ground. The pepper here too for Teak to get fast, but he's focused on the shot. That's another one. And both players still alive. The focus here is this low ground. They might be taken out, but they go down with a big message.
Yeah, they had low ground on lock there, even though they were on mid ground. They eventually go down. But in terms of who really has stakes in this game, who really has a chance to win it, it looks like Mr. J and Wolfie will sit above everybody else. They are going to look to take some shots at players below them. Mariah all alone as a solo. He now has a difficult task with no materials. This is the worst position to be in, and he'll be sent right back to the lobby. But you can see Refscar down below looking to try and make his way up himself with no materials. But he hits a crazy shot, and he hits another crazy shot. How's Refscar done this? Refscar, you can't do this as a solo. You can't keep hitting these crazy shots. He will eventually fall as well. But on the way out, he hit some really, really big right hands. And so DKS now, who's done a brilliant job with his teammate, Bad Sniper, all alone, the 4th place team, he sees players on the other side of that wall. He tries to manipulate it, hits, misses the shot, I should say, and he can't afford to miss too many more. Finally connects with one, and he's dancing around them, but eventually will be put to an end. I can't believe this has actually just happened. Wolfie and Lucky Mr. J have not had much to do above. Only 3 eliminations. Everything just sort of unfolded below them, Shyo. But this is where they can really get their points at. 2 more players left alive, and they know what they need to do, using those SMGs to really just force them into an uncomfortable position.
Yeah, the pressure from DKS, you can still see it on the health bars of Frey and Kidwo down below. 70 HP. If there's a shotgun or maybe even half a second of SMG spray, it's wraps for either player here right now. They have to play this perfectly. They have the materials to stay alive for now and pick up a few more. Spider-Man web shooter inside the inventory, a possibility of a high ground take. The ground is getting even closer, squishing all players side by side. Kidwo finding a little bit of room. No, it's spray that's actually building out now. 20 mats on as the spray still come up from above. Wolfie, Mr. J, they do not want to let go! A big boom, explosion, fire all around, chaos down on low ground. Do Wolfie and Mr. J have any of the others either? Is that a reason with a miss on a chase as well? We're talking about uncharacteristic things. I've never, I think, seen that before, but this player's making it very difficult, and it gets even scarier when you start to go below bills, and Reason's actually being juked out completely. Nate with the moves. I mean, if it's someone who has the fundamentals, who has the potential to do it, it is Nate. You have to be super careful, and his Bass TK has been like, wait, who took our mats? What is this? This box was supposed to be safe, and Reason the deal will get the thieving done. Burglary, but no, caught down. You can't break the law and get away with it. Reason is going to be put to jail. It's all up to Vidil to be on the run as a solo fugitive.
That's the problem, man. They were running on cones that weren't theirs. I was thinking, oh dear, barely just getting away, and as I was thinking it, and they are positioned quite comfortably to capitalize on anybody lurking in the backside of the zone. Window edit gets closed, and so Rifler wants to reopen it, but nothing to boot. And again, you see the same exact thing. They're able to just take such a nice position ahead of everybody, up elevated as well. The more options, the merrier. As he splits some materials now, the question becomes, at what point do they decide, hey, look, we want to top up on some of our resources? Again, the exact same sort of rotation with the Spider-Man. It was nerfed down to 10 charges, but still putting it to good use. But no, Rifler actually will get dropped down. And so Marion actually has to do this all alone now.
And you can see the different strengths at play. So good at picking teams apart inside the mid game, but unlike Cammy and Teak, who are always side by side, they tried to spread their wings apart a bit too far. Brian's seeing a lot of opportunity he can capitalize on, but he can't even be forced to take a single shot. He has to move forward first as a solo. He's got a lot of time to play with. 640 damage above Surge. Nothing is that stressful except for the fact that he's an entire teammate down. 150 mats down. 2 health bars basically down by himself. And we watch Hen go down further in layer. Squeezy right beside him. They're pressuring box to box because they're out of mats completely too. This is the second place POV. How long will they survive? Going down for 1 more box. They might have to. No. Hen keeps them up, keeps them alive. This is going to be so dirty. Not going to be the cleanest type of push and play. And there goes a few more shots on the left side. Not going to see too much there. Marion, though, still surviving as a solo on the right side. Queasy's down on the left-hand POV. Marion finds a huge siphon and still stays alive. Splashes to move inside the zone. Spider-Man gauntlets to get him up, 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 and away. 2 swings to keep himself in the game. But now with just 3 mats, he's on his final wire.
He's played it so well up to this point, but you can see now as things start to run out for him, this is where the real challenge begins. He's only got 1 more charge in that and 3 builds to boot. He's gonna have to drop down at some point and start picking up eliminations below. Really does a great job there to not get taken out by anybody from above, but as he breaks his way through this old metal, he's gonna start running into players and teams that he can't deal with. Sneaking around behind here, he knows that there's a player here, it's just Wood. Can he hit the crucial shot? He needs to be careful, doesn't want to get too ahead of himself, only the little amount of HP, and so he goes down in the backside as Putrick and Toos, who have struggled so much of late, are sitting up above, ready to finally stake their claim in this lobby.
Cammy and Teak take the trophy back, though. They're in first place for the moment. Teak down, siphon there for Cammy, all the way down though, beamed as he goes away in the storm. You're right, the bullied becomes the bullies all the way up on high ground. Putrick and Toos have so much ammunition to work with as well. They're just raining down Stinger SMG shots as much as they can. Fino made it this far in the game. Him and Joe get taken down by Floki, down to our final 4 teams. It seems like Fast Roki himself is going to be on the backside, all the way down now, on front of Clement and Floki's box. Pablo coming in behind him. The man who just survived the fight of the outpost is now down in 10th place with 10 HP. He's trying for a few beams. Won't fight anything just yet. 2 still raining down pressure from up top. No team can even think properly with the rattling of SMG sprays above them, water down below. It's either drown or get shot. Two options that aren't going to be the most tantalizing for either player. DKS taking out Pablo. They're so far up and split. Putrick and Toos absolutely unpenetrable. DKS has a plan a little bit on the backside. Might be slightly distracted. Someone needs to stop him. Armored Wall will buy him a little bit of time. And now they can really focus on this full ground fight.
Yeah, you can see here DKS really running into issues. Bad Sniper will try to avenge his fallen soldier, but with just 13 HP, he's not got much to work with. He goes down as well. Floki and Clement now, just Floki left alone, trying to do everything he can in a 1v2, builds up to height, needs to hit that shot, he doesn't, and so he will fall. Putrick and Toos.
To put some VR goggles on them or something, or some, like, you know, alternate reality goggles, and put steamy stacks like on the map somewhere. And I feel like they'll play 10 times better. I feel like some players just don't have their home, you know what I mean? They're kind of Hearthstone overall place they can go back to, but you know, it's all about adapting. Surely the synergy will come through at some point. They'll find their mojo. Thomas and Tayson need to find it fast. It was there in one of the previous rounds, and now they're really looking up for a spot to put themselves in a position to win. 6 zone will start to move, and they glide. Thomas in the skies. Tayson should be moving in a different way, because I'm not sure if they both really hit that pad. He will be behind them and finally catch up. He really dived in zone for that one. That's crazy. He'll choose the exact same way to roll in. That should usually not be possible, but somehow gets it unscathed. Switch layers still, and he meets up with Thomas. That's huge.
Yeah, Thomas claimed a really nice position towards the right side of the zone. Make sure that they have those right-hand angle peaks whenever they're looking for refreshes. And so Tayson usually being the one to lead the way, but this time Thomas makes that decision and makes the right call. And so now second movement begins. They're all trying to get into that 7th zone, and you can see here what I'm talking about. The right-hand angles looking for anybody in the back of the zone to try and get an elimination and a refresh on.
Thomas, Tayson, a majority of teams in their spot need this win. They need that tiebreaker in their inventory. They need that extra placement.
And you can see Queasy and Hen in a position we've seen them in before, sitting up above on height. That's where they want to be. That's where they win games from. And we've seen in so many of these games already, the high ground team being able to close things out from above. Tayson and Thomas, those switching sides now as the zone transitioned. And so they've gone from the right side of the zone to the left, but they can do serious damage from either side. Tayson still recovering, by the way, from earlier when his HP was dwindling, and again, even after the big pot, we'll have to take some time out. He's got to be careful though, because he's been split from Thomas, and now he actually has players on the backside. The armored wall comes through, but it's not going to be enough to save him, it seems. Players in his box, players in his face. We know you're amazing, Tayson, but he can't handle that. Too many players at once, and so Tayson will go down.
The fodder goes down on all sides, on all layers. It might be legends for the moment as well, but in this qualifier, it's been gruesome. It's been a ride for them, and they can't figure out the directions, the navigation, the GPS. Scram and Part 2 drop down 158. Full max damage from Scram, but he can't finish it off. Unfortunate, and Reps is not beside him. Guard moving around, has a Spider-Man swing to use the web gauntlets in play, but it's only going to get him to a safe spot. He has to leave his teammate's body behind. Doesn't get any of the mats there either. He's kind of all running on fumes. They deal damage. He gets another knock, no elim. But as the chaos rains down towards low, it's Hen and Queasy of a free type of game on height. Pink is going up. I'm wondering what's happening over there. Bad Sniper with 153 points. He's trying to also get into the top 5 upper echelon. He's in 2nd place now with DKS. How much farther can he go?
That Sniper, they were looking so strong early. He's been reduced to just being a scavenger in the back of the zone, and we've seen how these backside of zone fights play out. Very difficult, but he's got a striker pumper, the Stinger SMG, and we know heavy damage can be dealt that way. Queasy and Hen, who are looking so comfortable on high ground, Shyo, all of a sudden now, Queasy left alone, doesn't have his 16 chug splashes either this time round, so it's not going to be as easy of a game for him. Pink, who is another team who likes to play higher ground, going to be the one to take it, and Queasy will go down, and so Pink finally having an opportunity to show what he can do from above. He doesn't have Anas by his side, and with just 2 eliminations, not the hugest of games so far, but if they can close out this win, they'll push their way away from 22nd place.
I didn't see Anas with him to start the retake too, so I have to believe he 1v2 height retook against Queasy and Hen, which is ridiculous. Trippin though, the maximum defensive player, the guy who can't be shook, is going to be there on low ground by himself up against multiple teams, duo squads all around him. First player's on his left, walks him off with a wall. It's just brick, goes for the edit. It's a triangle peak. It's not going to be much, just 78 damage, but now the players know he's here. Trippin then afterwards has to go a little bit closer to the water. Can't drop another layer anymore. It might be disastrous. He's not going to be able to aim. And yes, after that, the pressure's too much. He goes down. Malibuca and Mustache are the ones all the way on high ground. Pink is going to be taken out completely. We have new leaders for the lobby so far in terms of just this game. 78 points, 8 eliminations on Mustache, 3 on Malibuca. They're looking for 2 more. Cheatin is down. So good, and now they fly by. 459 damage above, 114 points. Those elims will push them all the way up into 6th place. What a nice wall to put down too. Just absolutely amazing. And now we're in the 6th zone. 5 seconds before every storyline clashes inside the air. The majority of the lobby pulling zone. No one really in a bad spot, but this is the north side. This is where the mountains thrive. And we have a lot of terrain to cover. Tripper and Zragi will get spicy, get hot, and stay on the move to keep their dreams alive. It's all about the top 8.
Yeah, let's not beat around the bush here. You don't want to get caught out. You don't want to choke in this final game, especially when you look like you're in such a great position. Stenner and Rayed staggering now, letting players get ahead of them as they take some shots, because they know they got the web shooters to get ahead when needed. And that's what exactly they will do. Need to be careful though that they don't run into any other teams. You can see the builds around Stenner aren't his. You got to be careful, son. You don't want to run into a sticky situation as we've seen in previous games. Vino and Jodo on the bottom of your screen, they've actually went for height and they've taken it. One of the first opportunities they've had to do so. And what a time to do it when they are sitting in 10th looking to try and get into the top 8. And if they're going to do it from any position, it will be high ground.
Absolutely, but they'll have to take out the top POV right now. Stenna and Rayed still holding down 8th place overall, 115 points. They're 6 ahead of Vino on the bottom right. Our pocket pick right now, Thomas and Tayson, they're trying for big things, and they actually go for the high ground take. They're 7 below, 27 actually. Storm Surge, 105 from Thomas, though, to put them back above, and they're doing this while fighting for height. Where's Tayson? He's on the same layer now. Splash is thrown down. There's still Surge all the way down below. A big Spider-Man dive, but the webs won't hit anything on the wall. They actually go splat. Thomas then goes up straight for another big take. The other high ground still shooting forward. He doesn't even care. 97 points is up against Rifle and Mariah. Tayson slightly behind him. They're still in 15th place overall, challenging the 1st place holders of the lobby, and they don't have the fuel to get the job done.
Yeah, the 1st place team sitting up above on height. That's where they want to be to close things out. Thomas and Tayson, they committed just too many materials to that height take. And so now we can see the desperation will start to kick in. Tayson searching, hungry for eliminations on the back of the zone. But he still maybe has his eyes set on height. They still have some Spider-Man web shooter charges left. And so they will look up for height. Mariah is not safe. Thomas, though, needs to be careful. They've damaged him a bit. He's down to 16 HP, but he has time to get his shields up. This is everything for this team right now. Tayson just above him. They need to stay together if they have any hope of pushing their way on in. Joe was forced down as Vino goes as well, and so Thomas and Tayson now. Tayson actually going down, Anas will be the one to take him out, and so Thomas has to do it all alone if there's any single hope.
Absolute gridlock. It's Stenna and Rayed who are holding down 8th place, getting elims, still surviving. It causes people to get put into a crunch. Joe's there with a big shot. It's just a 34, and the follow-up's not there either. At the same time, Joe's and Thomas' streams ended for now in this qualifier, and we tune into the deal. 7th place overall, still holding down the line. Can he survive for as long as possible? A solo play, it's always extravagant. Inside the same box, he's just rat-a-tat-it down. And his chance is solidified at 126, 130 for Tripper, though. He's still pushing the envelope forward. It's not over yet.
No, Matt Stowe, he's going to have to be dropped to 1 build by his teammates. Not going to cut the mustard whatsoever, but where they spot some players with them Stinger SMGs, anything is possible. And Pablo and Swag, the Flames boys, somehow taking height. They're in 11th. This game is huge for them. We've seen so many different teams taking height, but these guys seem to be the final ones to do it, and that's what matters the most. They need to be the ones who close it out if they have any hope. Pablo reloading that SMG. He knows how much these eliminations will need in terms of their point threshold. 11th place is not going to be enough, and so he's going to go and take that fight. He knows he has to do everything in his power, and he's going to force that player down now. He needs to be careful. Doesn't want to be too overzealous and overextend himself. But we know, Shyo, everything comes down to these final moments here.
11th, 1st, 2nd, and 15th, all in the fray still. Noah Riley has a chance. Pablo is looking for something, but he needs to get a majority of these eliminations. If anything, the Victory Royale. Andy finally down. Noah finds Queasy on the bottom side. Still up in 11th so far. They need these eliminations. Big pump shot on the right side. He's looking for a little bit more. 2 elims only for him right now. 7 total for the squad. A nice 60 damage shot from Pablo. Switch over to the left. Look at low ground. Can't find much. Rifla does get chomped out. They're up towards just 10th place. Is it going to be enough? They need that win. The final drop, a few edits just away from possible qualification and glory. 10th overall for now. If the
top 8 auto qualify and will go right into finals. Everyone else will have to play for qualifier number 2.